Good morning. Today we are going to discuss about velocity in mechanisms. There are two methods by which we find the velocity in mechanism. One is instantaneous center method and the other one is relative velocity method. Today we will be discussing about instantaneous center method. I am Vijay Lakshmi, Assistant Professor in Mechanical Engineering Department from Thandai Periyar Government Institute of Technology, Vellore. Now, let us consider a link AB. So the link AB is moving to a position A1, B1. You can see that this movement is not complete translation. If it is a complete translation, then AB and the new position A1, B1 will be parallel to each other. But here you can see the new position B1 is not on the same straight line as that of B. So you cannot consider this as translation, and you cannot consider this as rotation. If it is rotation, either the position A1 should be the same as A or the position B1 should be the same as the point B. So here you can see it is a combination of translation as well as rotation. Such a combination of motion is called as general plane motion. So this general plane motion can be assumed to take place in two ways. In first case, we can assume that it is a combination of translation and rotation. That is, the link moves from the position AB to the position A1 B dash by translation, that is by linear motion, and with A1 as center, the point B dash moves to the position B1. So you can say that B1 moves relative to A1. So if we are proceeding along these lines, then it is called as relative velocity method. Okay. Alternatively, the other assumption can be, we can say that the link A is rotating and it is reaching the new position A1, B1. But the only difference is the center of rotation does not remain the same. So when it is in the position A1, the center of rotation may be the position I. So when it is in somewhere middle position, here the center of rotation need not be at the same I. It may be some other location, say I1. At any intermediate point, again we can assume that it is rotating but with different centers. So these centers are the centers of rotation at that particular instant only, and they may vary from instant to instant. So these centers of rotation are called as instantaneous center of rotation. So what is instantaneous center of rotation? We assume that the link AB, even though it is executing general plane motion, we assume that it is executing pure rolling, that is without any slipping, about a imaginary center. This imaginary center varies from instant to instant. So at that particular instant, it may be the center. When the link is moving to another position, it may be different center. Okay. So that center is called as the instantaneous center. So what is the advantage of this method is, we can reduce a general plane motion to that of rotation. So when our body is rotating, we can easily find out the direction of the velocity. Because we know that if it is executing curvilinear motion, the velocity vector will always be perpendicular to the radius or to the tangential to the curve. Okay, so you can easily find out what is the velocity vector, and you can also find out what is the magnitude, because we know velocity is equal to r into omega. So knowing the angular velocity, you can find out what is the linear velocity. So this, since it has moved from AB to A1 B1, if you have to find out the instantaneous center, so if you join the chord of the final positions, so A and A1 is the final position. If you are joining it with the initial position, you'll be getting a chord A1. Similarly, you'll be getting a chord B1. If you draw perpendicular bisectors to these two chords, they will intersect at a point. So that point is called as the instantaneous center of rotation, or the virtual center of the link AB. So you can say that the position of the link AB goes on changing. Therefore, the center about which the motion is assumed to take place is also changing. That is, the instantaneous center keep on changing. Okay, so that is why it is called as instantaneous, because it changes from one instant to another. So if you find out the locus of all such instantaneous center, locus is the path which the instantaneous center is going to travel. So if you find out the locus, then that is called as the centroid. And any line which is drawn through the instantaneous center and perpendicular to the plane of rotation is called as the instantaneous axis. Now if you find the locus of this axis, it is called as axis. So if you find out the locus of this axis, then it is called as axode. Now we can see how to find the velocity of a point on a link by instantaneous center method. So now this is a rigid link, and A and B are points on a rigid link. Suppose if I am knowing the velocity of the point A in both magnitude as well as in direction, whereas the velocity of B, VB, is known in direction only, then I can determine the magnitude of the velocity VB by instantaneous center method. So what I can do is, so to locate the instantaneous center, so this is the velocity, okay. So this is nothing but rotation. So if it is the rotation, then you can always know that the center of rotation is perpendicular to the velocity. Okay, so you can draw a perpendicular line. So in this line only you will have the velocity. Similarly, B point is also going to rotate with respect to the instantaneous center. So if to this velocity again, if you are drawing a perpendicular, in that line only the instantaneous center is going to lie. So these two points, these two lines will intersect, and that point will give the instantaneous center. So if you are knowing the direction of the velocity, and if you are drawing a perpendicular line to the direction of velocity, then on that particular line you can guarantee that the instantaneous center is going to lie. Okay. So to determine, we are drawing perpendiculars, and then we are trying to make it intersect, and then you are finding out what is the instantaneous center. Okay, so the magnitude of velocity of the points on a rigid link is inversely proportional to the distance from the points to the instantaneous center, and it is perpendicular to the line joining the point of the instantaneous center. So you can say that VA by VB is equal to BI by AI by BI. So this is always a constant which is equal to omega, that is the angular velocity of the rigid link. So if you are knowing VA and AI and you are knowing BI, you can automatically find out what is VB. So given any three quantities, you can find out what is the fourth unknown quantity by using this relation. Okay. So now how to find out the number of instantaneous centers in a mechanism. So the number of instantaneous centers in a number of combinations of n links. So to find out one instantaneous center, we have to have two links. Okay, so we can find out the velocity vector and we can draw perpendicular to those velocity vectors. The point of intersection will give the instantaneous center. So you need two links. So if there are number of links, then the number of instantaneous center capital N is given by small n into small n minus 1 divided by 2, where small n is the number of links. And you can again classify instantaneous centers into fixed, permanent, neither fixed nor permanent. Fixed and permanent instantaneous centers are together. These two are called as primary instantaneous center, and the third type is called as the secondary instantaneous center. So usually these two are not so, if we, knowing these two, we will not be able to find out what is the velocity. So only these instantaneous centers will be helpful in finding out the velocities, that is neither fixed nor permanent. So you can see this is a 4-bar mechanism. We can see 4 links, link 1, link 2, link 3 and link 4. So number of links small n is equal to 4. So you can find out the number of instantaneous center capital N is equal to 4 into n into n minus 1 by 2. Okay, so 4 into 3 divided by 2, that is 6 instantaneous centers. So by visual inspection you can see certainly since these two links are attached, the point where these two links are joining, that will act as an instantaneous center because it is going to pivot about or turn about that particular pin joint. So you can see by visual inspection itself, you can see 1, 2, 3 and 4. So to number that, what we are doing is, it is going to join in links 1 and 4. So I am giving the number as I1 and 4. Here it is joining link 2 and 3. So I am giving the number as 2 and 3. I am giving the number as I2, 3. Here it is joining the link 1 and 2. I am giving the number as 1, 2. So here it is joining 3 and 4. I am going to give the number as 3, 4. So you can see of this 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 are either fixed instantaneous centers or permanent instantaneous centers. Since the rigid link is AD, this link is fixed. So you can say that I12 and I14 are fixed instantaneous centers, whereas I23 and I34 are permanent instantaneous centers. So even though the joints may occupy different position, but this center will be a permanent one because of the connection between 3 and 4. So these two are fixed and these two are permanent. So how to locate these instantaneous centers? So basically to locate these instantaneous centers, we can find out if there are two links and if they are connected by a pivot joint, then the pivot joint is certainly an instantaneous center. Okay, and if you are having two link 1 and 2, link 1 is a fixed one and link 2 is a rolling disk, then the point of contact or is called, in case of pure rolling, by pure rolling we means it does not slip, it is only rolling, then the point of contact is one instantaneous center. So if you have a slider which is going to slide on a fixed surface, then you can say that this is the velocity vector, and since you draw lines, these two lines are parallel and they will never meet. So you can say that the instantaneous center is located at infinity. So if it is moving in a curved surface, then you can say that the center of rotation of the curved path will be the instantaneous center. And again, if it is moving on a circular path, then the center of rotation of the, center of the circular path will be the instantaneous center. So we'll see the Arnott theorem, Kennedy theorem